I hope we hear back from you pretty soon. Okay.
Of course, likewise. Thanks for hopping on. Alexis?
Thank you. Have a great night.
I, what I've been thinking a lot about these stories. I mean, they're deeply personal stories being shared about people, their entire families cramming into, studio apartments, like the aftermath of '08. And, you know, I'm thinking a lot about a generation. Let's go with millennials in particular. I'm at the like upper end of it because I was born in '83, so I'm like just barely. But you know, I came of age right before 9/11. I was a freshman in college, and I remember in those years that followed, a lot of us were watching as we were told one thing about expectations of WMDs and led to two foreign wars, and our questioning of a really important institution started to begin because we said, well, hold on, this is really important decisions, and with the benefit of hindsight, we realized all these institutions weren't quite so perfect, and in fact, were pretty deeply flawed. And then for so many, in the next few years to come, they might be entering the job market to the recession. And they looked at these institutions, these financial institutions that we all trusted, that our parents trusted, our families trusted. And it was like, well, they didn't know what they were doing. They got too greedy. They made mistakes. That started to make us even more skeptical of the institutions. And with an economy in ruins, then, many were saddled with student loan debt. And many worked their butts off and were told by well-intentioned family members, society, everyone, look, if you just work really hard, get good grades, go to a good school, you'll have a great job. You'll have a good middle-class life. That was the story. Everyone was told. And they're looking around going, well, hold on, I did it. I did all the things, but there's no job for me. And especially, at a time, this is more coincidentally, as software and technology continues to, or really started eating the world, those skills started to become really valuable. Other skills, less so. Increased automation, those other skills less valuable. And so like, okay, that was another institution, higher learning, academia, college that was supposed to do this thing. And I did what I was supposed to do, and it's not living up to it. And then with social media, because this is the first generation of digital natives, there is a fluency because we do understand this because most of us been lucky enough to have an internet connection since, we were pretty young. And so that part feels normal. The idea of falling in love with someone you don't even know, making a friendship with someone you've never met in real life or offline, building community with total strangers on the internet. All these things feel very normal to us as a generation. But the idea of institutions we could trust, it's been rocky. And the last 4 years, we've seen our very governmental institutions let us down in so many ways. We've seen a global pandemic that we know we could have handled so much better. And so I think a big thing underlying this, especially for millennials and just digital natives broadly, is that we had institution after institution let us down in ways that previous generations never had. And these are the things that I think a lot of well-intentioned people were telling us to trust and believe in, but let us down at a time when technology that allowed for bottom-up connectivity, that allowed for more decentralization, that allowed for more sort of counter voices to compete with those institutions that we were fluent in, started getting more and more powerful and effective and successful and scaled and just a better user experience, frankly. Like the idea that our parents, if they were able to, would have still had to like call up a broker and be like, buy some shares of blah, blah, blah. Thank you. And the fact that we can sit here, and with our phones do it while we're in bed, it's a better user experience too.
Yeah.
And so you have
people
this
today are like,
storm.
Call a broker.
What?
The social anxiety of Gen Z and millennials.
Right? I don't want to.
I'm not calling nobody.
No, you really got to earn that phone call. I gotta remind myself. I gotta call my dad actually. But we don't. It is. So we had this where institutions really consistently let a generation down at a time when technology, with an amazing user experience and the community, helped us be better and better. Right? I learned most of my best dad tricks from strangers on the internet. No offense to my dad, but his one brain, and he did an okay job, but his one brain is nowhere near as good as the collective of millions and millions of dads sharing their experiences, their empathy, their advice. And so it's this perfect storm where I think, at the end of the day, the millions of connected brains are always going to be better than the few. And I hope the way forward is, at the end of the day, for better things, for better businesses, for better investing, for better education, for better all the things. And the one theme that continues to show is this intersection with community and technology, and now it's been infused with capital in a way that's, I think, just getting started. And we're already seeing it in alternative assets, whether it's people trading sneakers or buying and selling trading cards or obviously cryptocurrencies. We're seeing all these new ways to opt in to investing that there's no script for, but it only works in a world where you have so many people who feel disenfranchised with the status quo, and a trust, actually a really great trust in one another, even when one another might be another stranger on the internet. So I've gone over my wife would say I'm monologuing right now, but I really appreciate having me on.
No, of course. Thank you so much. Thanks for being down to have the conversation. We really appreciate it. Thanks, Alexis.
Awesome.
Thank
you, guys.
Bye. Thank you. All right. So, I mean, what? Whoa! I'm moving the camera around. Okay. So, I mean,